We all face negative thoughts at some point in life. The feelings of, I'm not good enough, this is too hard, or I'll never make it can sneak into our minds and take control. But today, I want to share a powerful truth you need to hear. You have the ability to choose your thoughts. Imagine your mind as a garden. Whatever you plant in it, whether positive or negative, will grow. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and negativity, that's what will bloom. But if you start planting thoughts of confidence, success, and resilience, that's what your life will begin to reflect. The good news is, it's all in your hands. Most people let negative thoughts take charge and dictate their actions. But what if you could break free from that cycle? What if you could step up, take control, and start thinking in a way that propels you forward instead of holding you back? This video isn't just another motivational speech. It's a wake-up call, a challenge to transform the way you think and ultimately the way you live. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to break free from that negativity and build a mindset that pushes you to take action, to be relentless, and to succeed. It's time to stop letting your doubts decide your future. Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change, and the change starts in your mind. Stick with me, and I'll show you how to shift your thinking, take back control, and start winning in ways you never thought possible. So, how do you truly kill your negative thinking and start creating the life you've always dreamed of? First, make self-improvement a daily practice. If you don't take control of your mind, life will do it for you. And let me tell you something. Life doesn't care about your dreams. It doesn't care about your potential. If you let it, life will fill your mind with doubts, fears, and excuses. One bad experience, and you'll start thinking you're a failure. One setback, and you'll start believing you're not good enough. That's how negativity takes root. It sneaks in when you're not paying attention, and if you don't do something about it, negativity doesn't just sit there. It grows. It multiplies. It starts shaping your thoughts, your decisions, and ultimately your future. Before you know it, you're stuck living the same day over and over again, wondering why nothing ever changes. But let's be clear, your mind isn't the problem. The problem is that you haven't trained it to work for you instead of against you. If you want to kill negative thinking, you have to make self-improvement a daily practice. Not once in a while, not when you feel like it, but every single day. Because here's the truth. Your mind is like a muscle. If you don't train it, it gets weak. It becomes lazy, and a lazy mind will always default to negativity. Always. That's why you can't leave it up to chance. You can't hope that one day you'll just start thinking positively. It's not how it works. You have to program your mind. You have to build the habit of feeding it the right things every single day. Now, some people will hear this and think, that sounds exhausting. I don't have time for self-improvement every day. Really? But you have time to scroll through your phone for hours. You have time to overthink and stress about things you can't control. You have time to listen to people who do nothing but complain. You see, it's not about having time. It's about what you prioritize. And if you don't prioritize your own growth, who will? No one is coming to fix your mindset for you. That's your job. So, where do you start? You start by paying attention to what goes into your mind. Most people don't even realize how much negativity they consume daily. The news, social media, toxic conversations. These things shape the way you view the world. When you start improving yourself, the most important thing is to guard your mind as if your future depends on it. Because it truly does. If you're not careful, negative thoughts can shape your life. That's why the first step in self-improvement is protecting your mind and not letting it be filled with useless thoughts. Instead of starting your day by checking your phone and filling your mind with nonsense, start it with something that makes you better. Read 10 pages of a good book. Listen to something inspiring. Write down your goals. Do something that strengthens your mindset before the world has a chance to fill it with negativity. And don't just do it once. Do it every single day. Because what you do daily is what shapes you. If you read 10 pages of a book today, you won't see a difference right away. But if you do it every day for a year, that's 3,650 pages of wisdom. That's the difference between being stuck and breaking through. But reading alone is not enough. You have to take action. Many people love to learn but never apply what they've learned. They watch motivational videos all day but never act on them. That's not self-improvement. That's procrastination disguised as progress. Real growth happens when you take what you learn and use it. If you read something powerful today, don't just think, "Wow, that's inspiring." Ask yourself, "How can I apply this to my life today?" And then do it. Let me tell you something. When you start doing this daily, you'll notice something incredible. Negative thinking starts to lose its power over you. You stop dwelling on problems and start focusing on solutions. You stop overthinking and start doing. You stop looking for excuses and start looking for opportunities. And do you know why? Because when you train your mind to grow every day, it stops settling for less. It stops accepting negativity as normal. It starts demanding more. But here's the catch. This isn't a one-time thing. You don't just wake up one day and say, "All right, I'm done with negative thinking," and expect it to disappear forever. It doesn't work like that. Negative thoughts will always try to creep back in. Fear will always try to stop you. Doubt will always whisper in your ear. That's why self-improvement has to be a daily practice. It's how you fight back. It's how you stay in control. I know what some of you might be thinking, but what if I miss a day? What if I fall off track? Listen to me, missing one day won't ruin you, but letting that one day turn into a habit, that's where people go wrong. It's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. You don't have to get it right every time, but you do have to get back up every time. Because here's the truth. Self-improvement isn't something you do when life is easy. It's something you do so that life doesn't break you when it gets hard. It's something you do to make sure that no matter what happens, you stay strong. No setback, no failure, no disappointment can take you back to the person you used to be. Because once you commit to this path, there's no going back. You'll start to see yourself differently. You'll start to expect more from yourself. And when you expect more from yourself, life starts giving you more. But it all starts with one decision. The decision to stop waiting. The decision to stop making excuses. The decision to start improving yourself every single day, no matter what. Because the moment you make that decision, you take your power back. The moment you make that decision, negative thinking starts to die. And the moment you make that decision, your entire life starts to change. The next step in this journey is to detach from past failures and regrets. Your past does not define you unless you let it. Too many people are living today with the weight of yesterday pressing down on them, carrying regrets, mistakes, and failures as if they are chained to their backs. They wonder why they can't move forward, why they feel stuck, and why everything seems to stay the same. So, how do you break free from this past and move forward? As we discussed earlier, letting go of past failures and regrets is crucial for your growth. Now, let's dive deeper into understanding why you must free yourself from the grip of your past. No matter how hard people try, they often feel trapped in the same cycle, unable to move forward. But here's the truth. It's not your past that's holding you back. It's your attachment to it. It's your unwillingness to let go. Your decision. Yes, your decision to keep reliving what should have already been left behind. You cannot change what has already happened. No matter how much you dwell on it, analyze it, or punish yourself for it, it is done. You cannot go back, but you can go forward, and that's where your power lies. The moment you stop replaying your past failures, the moment you stop giving energy to regrets, that's the moment you start living again. That's when you start winning. I know what you might be thinking, but I made so many mistakes. I wasted so much time. I hurt people. I failed at things I really cared about. And that may be true. But do you think holding on to that guilt, shame, and disappointment will fix anything? Do you think spending another day, another week, another year dragging yourself through those memories is going to make you better? No. It's only going to steal more of your time, drain more of your energy, and keep you stuck in a place you don't belong anymore. You have to understand that failure is not the enemy. Mistakes are not the problem. It's what you do after them that matters. Every person you admire, every person who has ever achieved something great, has failed. The difference is they didn't let their failures define them. They learned, they adjusted, and they moved on. And that's exactly what you need to do. There are people who spend their entire lives trapped by something that happened years ago. They define themselves by their worst moments. They tell themselves, "I'm not good enough because I failed before." They stop trying because they think their past predicts their future. But listen to me, your past is only a teacher. It is not your identity. The only way it has power over you is if you give it power. And you know how most people give their past power? By replaying it over and over in their minds, by feeding it energy, by talking about it like it still matters today. But it doesn't. The only reason it still feels real is because you keep bringing it back to life. Stop doing that to yourself. Stop reopening wounds that should have already healed. Stop reminding yourself of things that are no longer relevant to who you are becoming. If you failed before, good. That means you tried. That means you put yourself out there. That means you were in the game. And if you keep trying, if you keep moving forward, you're going to succeed. But only if you stop holding on to what didn't work before. Let me ask you something. If you were driving a car, would you keep staring at the rearview mirror? No, because you'd crash. And yet that's exactly what people do with their lives. They keep looking back, focusing on what's behind them instead of what's in front of them. And then they wonder why they're not making progress. If you want to change your life, you have to start acting like your future is more important than your past. Because it is. What's ahead of you matters more than what's behind you. The only thing you need to take from your past is the lesson. That's it. Not the pain, not the regret, just the lesson. And once you have it, let the rest go. I know it's not easy. I know sometimes the past feels like it has a grip on you, but that's just an illusion. The only thing keeping you tied to it is your own thoughts. And the good news is, you can change your thoughts. You can train your mind to let go. Every time you catch yourself thinking about an old failure, stop yourself and shift your focus. Every time regret creeps in, remind yourself, as we discussed earlier, letting go of the past is crucial for your growth. Now, let's explore another powerful step towards transformation, stopping the comparison with others. Every time doubt tries to pull you back, remind yourself that you are moving forward and nothing is going to stop you. You owe it to yourself to give your future the energy you've been wasting on your past. You owe it to yourself to stop looking back and start looking ahead. And most importantly, you owe it to yourself to finally, once and for all, detach from everything that has been holding you back. Because the moment you do, you'll feel something incredible. You'll feel lighter, stronger, and you'll realize that the only thing that was ever stopping you was the belief that you couldn't. Move on. But now you know better. Now you understand that the past only has power if you allow it to. And from this moment on, you are taking that power back. Now let's talk about another trap many of us fall into: comparing ourselves to others. There is no faster way to destroy your confidence, kill your motivation, and rob yourself of joy than by constantly comparing yourself to someone else. And yet, so many people do it every single day. They wake up, and the first thing they do is look at someone else's life, someone else's success, and someone else's achievements. And then, they convince themselves they are not enough. They convince themselves they are behind, that they are failing. But let me tell you something important. The only person you should ever compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. That's it. The truth is, no two people have the same journey. No two people start from the same place, face the same struggles, or encounter the same obstacles. And yet people make the mistake of measuring their progress against someone else's story, timeline, or highlight reel. When they do this, they set themselves up for misery. You have to stop looking at what others are doing and start focusing on your own path. When you compare yourself to others, you're not comparing reality. You're comparing what you see on the surface. You see someone winning, but you don't see the struggles they went through. You see someone succeeding, but you don't see the failures they had to overcome. You see someone confident, but you don't see the nights they spent doubting themselves. And yet, you look at yourself with all your struggles, insecurities, and challenges, and you convince yourself that you are less than them. But you are not less than them. You are just at a different stage of your journey. Think about this. When you plant a seed, do you stand over it every day and get frustrated because it's not a tree yet? No. You understand that it takes time. You understand that growth happens below the surface before you ever see results. But when it comes to life, people forget this. They look at someone else who is in full bloom, and they get frustrated because they are still growing. They forget that their time will come if they stay committed, keep pushing, and keep going. The problem is, when you compare yourself to others, you start feeling like what you're doing isn't enough. You start doubting yourself. You start rushing your progress, and when you rush, you make mistakes. When you rush, you lose focus. When you rush, you lose patience with your own journey. And that's how people quit. Not because they weren't capable, not because they weren't good enough, but because they convinced themselves that they should be further ahead by now. You have to train your mind to stay in your own lane. You have to remind yourself daily that your path is your path, and it doesn't have to look like anyone else's. Some people succeed quickly, others take longer. Some people struggle in the beginning and then take off. Others have steady growth. Some people start with all the resources they need, while others have to work hard to gather them. As we discussed earlier, letting go of the past and focusing on your own journey is crucial. Now, let's dive into another powerful step: making decisions and sticking to them. You have to fight for every opportunity, but in the end, none of that matters because the only thing that determines where you end up is your own effort, your own discipline, and your own mindset. Instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to who you were last week, last month, or last year. That's the only comparison that matters. Are you better than you were before? Are you growing? Are you improving? If the answer is yes, then you're on the right track. And if the answer is no, then it's time to step it up. Not because of what someone else is doing, but because you owe it to yourself to be better. You have to stop measuring your success based on someone else's journey. You have to stop feeling bad about your progress just because someone else seems ahead. You have to stop letting other people's success make you feel like you're failing, because you're not. You're on your own timeline, and your only job is to keep going, keep growing, and keep improving. Trust that as long as you are doing that, you are exactly where you need to be. There will always be someone ahead of you. There will always be someone who seems to have it easier, who seems to be moving faster, who seems to be doing better, but that does not mean you are losing. That does not mean you are not enough. That does not mean you should doubt yourself. It just means that their journey is different, and that's okay. Because at the end of the day, success is not about being better than someone else. It's about being the best version of yourself. When you understand that, you will stop wasting your time comparing and start focusing on what truly matters, your own growth and progress. Now let's talk about an important step in life: making a decision and standing by it. There comes a time in life when you have to make a real decision, not just a thought, not just an idea, but a firm decision that says, this is it. I am going all in. And when you do that, everything starts to change. The problem is most people never truly decide. They hesitate, they second-guess themselves, they tell themselves, maybe later, or I'll wait for the right time. But the right time never comes, because they never commit. They never say, no matter what happens, I am sticking to this. If you want to change your life, if you want to succeed, if you want to move forward, then you must learn the power of making a decision and standing by it. Not for a week, not for a month, but until you get the result. Because that's what separates those who win from those who stay stuck. The ones who win are the ones who decide and never look back. They don't entertain doubt. They don't waste time wondering if they made the right choice. They move forward with full commitment, full focus, and full belief that they are going to make it work. Most people live in a constant state of indecision. They start something, but the moment it gets tough, they question themselves. They let fear creep in. They start thinking about all the ways it could go wrong, and before they know it, they quit. Not because they couldn't do it, not because they weren't capable, but because they never truly committed in the first place. They were still holding on to their exit plan, still keeping one foot out the door. But that's not how success works. That's not how you build a great life. You have to be all in. The moment you make a real decision, everything changes. Your focus sharpens. Your energy shifts. You stop looking for distractions and start looking for solutions. You stop waiting for things to happen and start making things happen. You stop wasting time wondering if you can do it and start proving to yourself that you can. But none of that happens until you decide, until you say, "This is what I want, and I will not stop until I get it." So, are you ready to make the decision that will change your life? Now, let's explore another powerful step, replacing emotional reactions with thoughtful responses. Indecision is the enemy of progress. Indecision keeps you stuck. Indecision makes you doubt yourself. Indecision wastes your time, and worst of all, indecision makes you live a life of regret. Because one day, you'll look back and realize that all the things you could have done, all the goals you could have achieved, all the dreams you could have lived, never happened because you never fully decided to go after them. You can't build a strong life on weak decisions. You can't expect great results with a half-committed mind. You have to decide what you want, and you have to commit to it like your life depends on it, because in many ways, it does. Your future depends on it. Your success depends on it. Your happiness depends on it. Think about all the people who have made it to the top, the athletes, the entrepreneurs, the leaders, the artists. They all had one thing in common. They made a decision and never backed down. They didn't let fear stop them. They didn't let obstacles shake them. They didn't let failure make them quit. They stayed the course. They adjusted when needed, but they never changed the decision itself. They said, "I'm doing this," and they followed through. And that's why they succeeded. Now you have to ask yourself, what am I still undecided about? What have I been hesitating on? What have I been starting and stopping over and over again? Because that's what's holding you back. That's what's keeping you from reaching your full potential. And until you decide, truly decide, you will stay exactly where you are. Stop waiting for everything to be perfect before you commit. Stop thinking you need more time, more information, or more confidence. You don't. What you need is to make a decision and start. Start where you are, start with what you have, start today. And then, once you start, do not stop. Do not let doubt pull you back. Do not let fear make you hesitate. Move forward with full commitment, with full belief, with the absolute certainty that no matter how long it takes, no matter what obstacles come your way, you are going to see it through. You have to be stronger than your excuses. You have to be more committed to your goals than your fears. You have to decide that you are done living the same way, done making the same mistakes, done holding yourself back. And when you do that, when you finally make that decision and stand by it, everything in your life will start to change. Because decisions shape destiny, and the moment you make a real one, you will never be the same again. Next, we'll discuss how to replace emotional reactions with thoughtful responses. There will always be moments in life that test you, situations that push your buttons, people that say things that frustrate you, disappointments that shake your confidence. And in those moments, you have two choices. You can react emotionally, let anger take over, let frustration cloud your judgment, let fear dictate your next move, or you can take control and respond with thoughtfulness, clarity, and strength. high. Achievers don't operate based on emotions. They don't let feelings dictate their decisions or allow temporary emotions to shape permanent outcomes. They train themselves to pause, to think, and to act with wisdom, not just impulsively, because they understand something powerful. Emotions are temporary, but the consequences of reacting emotionally can last a lifetime. Think about it. How many times in your life have you said something out of anger only to regret it later? How many times have you made a decision based on fear and later realized that it was the wrong choice? How many times have you let frustration make you give up only to wish you had kept going? That's the power of emotional reactions. They cloud your judgment, make small problems seem bigger than they are, and push you into decisions that don't align with your long-term goals. You have to start catching yourself in those moments. The moment you feel anger rising, the moment frustration starts creeping in, the moment fear makes you want to run, pause. Don't react. Don't say the first thing that comes to your mind. Don't let emotions hijack your thinking. Take a breath, step back, and give yourself a moment to process before you act. Because once you do that, something powerful happens. You take back control. When you pause and think before you act, you start responding instead of reacting. And that's when you become dangerous, in the best way possible. Because when you're in control of yourself, nothing and no one can manipulate you. Most people don't even try to control their emotions. They say, "That's just how I am," or "I can't help it." But that's not true. You can train yourself. You can build the habit of pausing, thinking, and responding with wisdom. It's a skill. And like any skill, the more you practice it, the better you get. The more you catch yourself before reacting, the more you build the ability to handle pressure, to stay calm, and to think clearly, no matter what's happening around you. Life is unpredictable. You will face problems. You will encounter people who try to bring you down. You will deal with situations that don't go your way. And if you're always reacting emotionally, you'll always feel out of control. You'll always be at the mercy of your feelings. But if you train yourself to respond thoughtfully, you become unshakable. You become the person who stays calm in the storm, who makes smart decisions under pressure, who doesn't let temporary emotions ruin long-term goals. Imagine how different your life would be if you mastered this skill. Imagine how much more respect you would earn if people knew they couldn't push your buttons, that you don't break under pressure, that you don't let small things control you. Imagine how much more peace you would feel if you weren't constantly upset over things that don't matter in the long run. Imagine how much more success you would have if instead of reacting emotionally, you responded with strategy, with intelligence, with power. This is what separates average people from high achievers. The average person reacts, they get emotional, take things personally, and waste time and energy on things that don't matter. But the high achiever, the person who is going places, they think before they act. They don't let small setbacks break them. They don't let negative people shake them. They stay focused. They stay in control. And because of that, they always have the advantage. This is your challenge. Starting today, catch yourself before you react. When something upsets you, pause. When fear creeps in, pause. When frustration builds up, pause. Give yourself a moment to think before you speak, before you act, before you decide. Because that one habit, that one change in how you handle situations, will transform your life in ways you can't even imagine. Now, let's dive into another powerful element in achieving success. Conditioning your mind for high performance. Your mind is the most powerful tool you will ever have. It determines your success, your failures, your confidence, your self-doubt, everything. The way you think shapes the way you live. But here's the problem. Most people don't train their minds, they don't condition their thinking for success. They let their thoughts run wild, filled with negativity, doubt, and fear, and wonder why. They can't seem to break through, why they feel stuck, or why they can't reach the next level in life. It's because they never took control of their own mind. They never built the habits that create high-performance thinking. High performance. Thinking isn't something you're born with. It's not luck. It's not some natural ability that only a few people have. It's a habit. It's a mindset that you build every single day. And if you don't train your mind, if you don't condition it, the world will condition it for you. The negativity around you will take over. Fear will take over. Doubts will take over. And before you know it, you're operating at a fraction of your potential. That's what happens when you don't take control of your thoughts every day. You have to wake up and take command of your mind. You have to decide what kind of thoughts you will allow in, because your mind is like a garden. If you don't take care of it, if you don't remove the weeds, the negativity will grow. And the only way to stop it is to actively condition your mind for success, for resilience, for confidence, for power. You have to build the habit of feeding your mind with the right things. Start by paying attention to the thoughts that run through your head. Are they empowering you or holding you back? Are they making you stronger or weaker? Most people don't even realize how negative their thinking is because they've never stopped to examine it. They just accept whatever thoughts come up. But if you want to perform at a high level in life, you can't afford to do that. You have to challenge those thoughts. You have to rewire your thinking because your thoughts are shaping your future. The way you think affects the way you feel, and the way you feel affects the way you act. And the way you act determines the results you get in life. If your mind is filled with doubt, you'll hesitate. If your mind is filled with fear, you won't take action. If your mind is filled with negativity, you'll sabotage your own success. But if your mind is trained for high performance, if it's conditioned for confidence, resilience, and discipline, you become unstoppable. This is why successful people think differently. It's not because they are smarter or luckier. It's because they have trained themselves to think at a higher level. They've built mental toughness. They've created a habit of high-performance thinking. And because of that, they act differently. They move differently. Successful people don't let negative thoughts control them. They don't let fear stop them. They don't let setbacks break them. They keep moving forward, pushing, and winning. You need to start building this mindset now. You need to train yourself to think in a way that serves your future. Stop letting old habits of negative thinking hold you back. Stop entertaining thoughts that weaken you. Every time you catch yourself thinking something that doesn't serve you, replace it with something that does. Every time fear creeps in, remind yourself that you are capable. Every time doubt shows up, remind yourself that you have overcome challenges before. Every time negativity tries to take over, shift your focus to what you can do, what you can control, what you can build. Most people don't do this because it takes effort. It's easy to let your thoughts control you. It's easy to stay in a cycle of doubt and fear. But easy won't get you anywhere. If you want to achieve more, if you want to be better, if you want to reach your highest potential, you have to do the work. You have to build the habit of thinking like a high performer. Because once you do, everything changes. Imagine what your life would look like if you had complete control over your thoughts. Imagine how much more you could accomplish if you never let doubt slow you down. Imagine how powerful you would be if you trained your mind to focus on solutions instead of problems, on possibilities instead of limitations. That's what high-performance thinking does. It turns you into a person who can handle anything. A person who doesn't break under pressure. A person who moves with confidence, who acts with purpose, who achieves what others only dream about. This isn't about motivation. It's about discipline. It's about rewiring your brain for success. Because when you build the habit of high-performance thinking, success is no longer a question. It becomes a certainty. You won't have to wonder if you're going to win. You'll know because you've trained yourself. Change your mind to operate at the highest level, and once you do that, nothing can stop you. Next, we'll explore how to reconstruct your identity around strength, not weakness. There comes a time when you have to decide who you really are, not who the world says you are, not who your past mistakes try to define you as, and not even who your own doubts whisper you might be. Let's take a deeper look into how to build yourself from strength, not weakness. Belief in yourself is the foundation of success or failure. If you want to rise, you must reconstruct that foundation the right way. Strength isn't about never failing. It's not about being fearless. It's not about having all the answers. Strength is resilience. It's knowing that no matter what happens, you will get back up. It's proving to yourself that you can handle anything, even when it's hard, even when it hurts, even when you feel like giving up. That's strength. And that's the identity you need to build. But here's the key. No one is going to give you that identity. No one is going to come and tell you, you are strong now. No one is going to hand you confidence, discipline, or self-belief. That's something you have to take for yourself. That's something you have to build brick by brick, every single day. Look at how you talk to yourself. Pay attention to the words you use in your own mind, because those words are shaping your identity. Do you tell yourself that you're not good enough, that you always mess things up, that you'll never succeed? Or do you tell yourself that you are strong, that you are capable, that you can handle whatever comes your way? If you've been feeding yourself negative beliefs, it's time to stop. It's time to tear down the identity that's been holding you back and build a new one. Think about the strongest version of yourself. Think about the person you want to be. The version of you who doesn't give up, who pushes through fear, who stands tall even when things get tough. That version of you already exists. It's not some distant dream. It's inside you right now. You just have to bring it out. You have to act like that person every day, because identity is not something you wait for. It's something you create. You don't become strong by waiting for strength to appear. You become strong by making strong choices, by thinking strong thoughts, by taking strong actions. And the more you do that, the more your identity shifts. You stop seeing yourself as someone who tries and start seeing yourself as someone who does. You stop seeing yourself as someone who wants to change and start seeing yourself as someone who is already changing. That's the key. You have to live as that person now, not someday, not when you feel like it, right now. There will be moments when you feel like the old version of yourself is trying to pull you back, when doubts creep in, when fear tries to take over, when you feel like slipping into old habits. That's the test. That's the moment you decide, am I going to stay the same, or am I going to fight for the identity I want? Because make no mistake, it is a fight. Your mind will try to pull you back into what's comfortable, into what's familiar. But you have to stand your ground. You have to remind yourself that you are not your past. You are not your failures. You are not your fears. You are only what you decide to be today. Start proving your new identity to yourself, not with words, but with actions. You don't need to convince anyone else, just you. If you say you're strong, then act strong. If you say you're disciplined, then keep your promises to yourself. If you say you're confident, then walk like it, talk like it, move like it. Because every time you do, you're reinforcing your identity. You're telling your mind, this is who I am now. And the more you do that, the more real it becomes. You don't have to be perfect to build a strong identity. You just have to be consistent. Every small choice you make is either reinforcing weakness or reinforcing strength. Every time you push past fear, every time you refuse to give up, every time you take one more step when you feel like stopping, you are proving to yourself that you are strong. And once you start seeing yourself that way, everything changes. Now, let's dive into the importance of protecting your energy by carefully choosing the people around you. Believe in your own strength. Once you do, you stop seeking approval from others, you stop waiting for permission, and you stop holding yourself back. You move differently, you think differently, and you become the kind of person who makes things happen. So right now, in this moment, decide who you are. Decide that from this day forward, your identity will be built on strength. No more doubting yourself. No more carrying around old labels. No more acting like someone you don't want to be. From now on, you stand tall, you move with confidence, and you take control of your life. Because when you reconstruct your identity around strength, nothing can break you. Nothing can stop you. And that is when you truly become unstoppable. Now let's talk about something just as important. Avoiding people who drain your energy. There comes a time in your life when you have to make a decision, not just about what you want to do, but about who you allow to be around you. Whether you realize it or not, the people you surround yourself with are shaping your mindset, your energy, and your future. Some people add to your life. They push you forward. They challenge you to be better. And then, there are others. The ones who drain your energy, who bring nothing but negativity, who pull you down every chance they get. These are the people you cannot afford to keep in your life. Because if you do, you will never reach your full potential. There are people who will never support your growth, not because you're doing something wrong, but because they can't stand to see you rise. They are comfortable where they are, and the moment you start changing, the moment you start working on yourself, they feel threatened. They see you putting in the effort, making sacrifices, pushing yourself beyond what they ever dared to do. And instead of being inspired, they feel insecure. So what do? They try to pull you back. They make fun of your goals. They tell you it's impossible. They remind you of every time you failed before. They discourage you. And if you're not careful, if you're not strong, you'll start listening to them. You'll start doubting yourself. You'll start believing that maybe they're right. That's how dreams die. Not because of failure, but because of the wrong people whispering in your ear. You need to understand this. Your energy is everything. The way you feel, the way you think, the way you act. It all comes down to your energy. And if you let the wrong people drain you, if you let them fill your mind with negativity, self-doubt, and excuses, you will never break free. You will stay stuck. You will carry their weight on your shoulders, and before you know it, you'll be moving slower, thinking smaller, giving up easier. Not because you wanted to, but because they made you believe that's all you were capable of. You cannot let that happen. You cannot allow toxic people to rob you of your potential. Sometimes the hardest thing you'll ever do is walk away from people you once cared about. Friends, co-workers, even family members, people who have been a part of your life for years. But you need to ask yourself, are these people pushing me forward or holding me back? Are they lifting me up or draining me dry? Because here's the truth, just because someone has been in your life for a long time doesn't mean they deserve a place in your future. Loyalty should never come at the cost of your own growth. There are people who are always complaining, always blaming, always talking about what's wrong with the world. And the more time you spend around them, the more their negativity seeps into you. At first, you might think you're just listening, just being a good friend. But over time, you start picking up their habits. You start focusing on the negatives. You start seeing obstacles instead of opportunities. You start making excuses instead of taking action. And before you know it, you're living in the same cycle they are, stuck, frustrated, and blaming everything except yourself. That's what happens when you surround yourself with people who drain your energy. You need to be ruthless about who you let into your circle. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone deserves to be in your space, to hear your ideas, or to be part of your journey. You need people who challenge you, who push you, who inspire you to be better. People who celebrate your wins, who encourage your growth, who make you feel alive. Now let's move forward and explore how you can take full ownership of your time and priorities, ensuring your energy is invested in the right places. The people who deserve a place in your life are those who make you stronger, not weaker. These are the ones you need to keep close. Everyone else, you need to distance yourself. And I know this isn't always easy. It's not easy to cut ties with people you've known for years. It's not easy to say no to those who have been part of your past. but you need to understand that your future is more important than your past. And if you want to get to where you're going, you can't afford to carry dead weight. Start paying attention to how you feel after spending time with certain people. Do you feel motivated, energized, excited about your goals? Or do you feel drained, frustrated, full of doubt? That feeling is your answer. The wrong people will drain you in ways you don't even realize. They don't have to say anything negative directly. They just bring an energy that pulls you down. And over time, that energy can destroy your motivation, confidence, and belief in yourself. That's why you need to make a change now. It's not about being cruel. It's not about thinking you're better than anyone else. It's about protecting your energy. It's about understanding that your time, your focus, and your mental state are your most valuable assets. If you spend them on the wrong people, you won't have anything left for yourself. You won't have the energy to chase your goals, build the life you want, or become the person you're meant to be. Some people will try to make you feel guilty for distancing yourself. They'll say you've changed. They'll say you're being selfish. And you know what? They're right. You have changed, and you are being selfish with your energy, with your time, with your future. And that's exactly how it should be, because the only people who get upset when you set boundaries are the ones who benefited from you having none. Right now, you need to make a choice. Are you going to keep allowing toxic people to drain you? Are you going to keep letting their negativity control your mindset, your energy, your life? Or are you going to take control, surround yourself with people who lift you up and protect your energy like your success depends on it? Because it does. The people around you are either fueling your fire or putting it out. And if you want to win, if you want to grow, if you want to become the person you know you can be, you need to choose wisely, because your future depends on it. Number 9, keep moving forward no matter what. Life doesn't always go as planned. In fact, it rarely does. The road to success is often filled with unexpected twists, bumps, and detours. There will be times when things don't go your way, when the obstacles seem too big, the challenges too tough, and the odds stacked against you. But here's the thing. Those are the moments when you have to keep moving forward, no matter what. It's easy to get discouraged when things aren't going the way you imagined. When you've put in all that effort and still face failure after failure, it can feel like the universe is against you. You start doubting yourself. You question whether all the hard work, the late nights, the sacrifices were worth it. And in those moments, the temptation to stop, to give up, to throw in the towel becomes overwhelming. But you have to understand something important. Those moments of struggle and doubt are the exact moments when you need to push the hardest. You see, success is not about avoiding failure. It's not about never encountering setbacks. No one has a straight path to success. Everyone faces challenges. Everyone has doubts. But what separates the ones who succeed from the ones who don't is their ability to keep moving forward in the face of adversity. You can't let the tough times stop you. You can't let the setbacks define you. You need to get back up, no matter how many times life knocks you down. Building on what we discussed earlier about pushing through obstacles, let's dive deeper into the importance of continuing to move forward, no matter the challenge. Think about the great achievers in history. Think about the people who truly changed the world, who made an impact that lasted through the ages. Were their lives smooth sailing? Were they free of challenges, setbacks, or failures? Absolutely not. They faced rejection, criticism, disappointment, and failure, just like you. The difference was, they didn't let any of that stop them. They didn't quit when things got hard. They didn't throw in the towel when the world told them they couldn't do it. They kept going, even when every part of them was screaming to stop. And that's why they succeeded. The key to making progress, to achieving greatness, lies in your ability to keep moving forward, no matter how hard it gets. The greatest achievements in life don't come from moments of comfort. They come from moments of struggle. every time you feel like giving up, every time you face another setback. That's just life giving you another chance to prove yourself. That's another opportunity to show the world what you're made of. Now, I know it's not easy. It's easy to say, keep moving forward, but when you're in the thick of it, when you're facing failure after failure, it feels impossible. It feels like you're running on empty, like you don't have the strength to keep going. But this is where your mental toughness comes in. You have to train yourself to keep moving forward, even when you don't feel like it. You have to build that muscle of resilience, that ability to push through the tough times. The truth is, you'll never feel fully ready. You'll never feel like you have it all figured out. And guess what? That's okay. It's all part of the process. You don't need to know exactly how everything will unfold. You don't need to have all the answers. What you need to do is show up day after day and keep moving forward, even when the path is unclear. Here's the secret that most people don't tell you. Progress doesn't always look like progress. There will be days when you feel like you're stuck, when it seems like you're not getting anywhere. But the truth is, every step forward, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. Every single day that you don't give up, every time you choose to move forward instead of quitting, is progress. It may not be obvious, but it's happening. And one day, you'll look back and realize just how far you've come. Success isn't a destination. It's a journey. And that journey requires you to keep moving forward, no matter what. It's about showing up every day, even when things are tough, even when you don't feel like it, even when you doubt yourself. It's about pushing through the fear, the uncertainty, and the setbacks, and knowing that every step you take is one step closer to your goal. When you're in the middle of a struggle, it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel, but I promise you, it's there. The hard times won't last forever. The tough moments won't define you. The challenges will pass, and you'll come out the other side stronger, smarter, and more capable than ever before. But only if you keep moving forward. So the next time you face a setback, the next time you want to quit, remember this. The most successful people in the world didn't get there by avoiding failure. They didn't get there by giving up when things got tough. They got there by continuing to move forward no matter what. Continuing from the idea of moving forward, another essential factor is the determination and strength to win. All successful people in the world share one common trait. They made the decision to win. And when I talk about making a decision, I don't mean a vague decision or just wishful thinking, but a deep, committed decision that comes from the core of who they are. They decided right then and there that they would win, no matter the odds, no matter the obstacles, and no matter how many setbacks they encountered along the way. Success does not come by accident. It is not something that just happens to you if you sit around waiting. You have to decide to win. You have to make the choice that you will succeed and then commit to it fully, no matter what. However, the mistake most people make is that they don't truly decide. They sit on the fence, unsure of what they want, and because of that uncertainty, they miss the opportunity to fully commit to their success. It's time to stop waiting. For permission, stop waiting for the perfect moment. The moment you've been waiting for is now. The decision to win is something you can make today. You don't need to wait for everything to align perfectly. You don't need to wait for someone else to tell you that you're ready. You're ready now. The only thing standing in your way is the decision to take action. Think about the people you admire, those who have achieved great things, those who have reached the heights you aspire to. What makes them different from you? Do they have some kind of special talent that you don't? No. The only thing that separates them from those who don't achieve their dreams is the decision to win. They decided that success was non-negotiable. They decided that they would keep going until they succeeded, and that's exactly what they did. It doesn't matter what anyone else says. It doesn't matter if the world tells you it's too hard, too competitive, or too risky. If you decide that you will win, nothing can stop you. The moment you make that decision, you unlock a new level of focus, power, and determination. You become unstoppable. But you have to be ready for the sacrifices that come with making that decision. Winning isn't easy. It requires hard work, long hours, and sometimes it will feel like the world is against you. There will be days when you feel like quitting, when the obstacles seem too big and the journey feels too long. But that's when your decision will matter the most. Because when you've made the decision to win, you don't quit when things get tough. You push harder, you find a way, you dig deeper. You've got to develop a mindset that is locked in on your goal. You can't afford to let distractions derail you or let negativity from others shake your focus. As we discussed earlier, making the decision to win is the first and most crucial step in achieving success. Now, let's dive deeper into how that decision will shape the rest of your journey. This isn't just a game. This is your life. And if you've made the decision that you will win, then everything you do from this point forward must align with that decision. Every choice you make, every action you take must serve your success. It's time to stop making excuses. It's time to stop holding back. The only thing standing between you and your dreams is the decision to go after them. When that decision is made with absolute certainty and commitment, it will change everything. You'll start seeing opportunities where you once saw obstacles. You'll find solutions where you once saw problems. And slowly but surely, you'll begin to build momentum. The more you move toward your goal, the more you'll believe that success is inevitable. Understand this. Success doesn't belong to the lucky or the naturally talented. Success belongs to those who make the decision to keep going, to keep fighting, and to never back down. That's the key. Decide right now that you will win, and nothing will be able to stop you. The only way to fail is to quit. If you don't, quit. If you keep going, if you stay committed to your decision, then success will eventually be yours. So make that decision today. Decide with all your heart and mind that you are going to win. Let that decision guide every thought, every action, and every choice you make moving forward. You have the power to shape your future, but it all starts with that single decision, the decision to win. Once you make that decision, you'll notice that the world starts to shift. Your energy changes, your focus sharpens, and you'll attract people who support you, opportunities that help you, and the strength you need to push through the toughest moments. When you decide to win, you become magnetic to success. But you have to commit. You must decide with absolute certainty, no hesitation, no second guessing, just a clear, unwavering commitment to your success. When you do that, there's no stopping you. You'll rise above challenges, push through pain, and break through barriers that once held you back. And when you look back on your journey, you'll realize that the moment you decided to win was the moment everything changed. You're ready now. Decide to win and never look back. But remember, you can start fresh right now. You can decide to stop letting negative thoughts control you. You can choose to focus on what you can do, not on what you can't. Every time those doubts and fears creep in, you can replace them with thoughts that push you toward your goals. Remember, you have the power to control your mind. Your thoughts shape your reality, and your actions will follow your thoughts. If you want to succeed, start by thinking like someone who's already succeeding. The mind is a powerful tool. Use it wisely. So, take a deep breath, stand tall, and step forward with confidence. The future you want is waiting for you, and it all starts with how you choose to think today. If you're ready to take charge, if you're ready to break free from negative thoughts, commit to making that change. Because when you change your mindset, you change your life. Thank you for watching, and remember, the best time to take control of your thinking is now. Keep pushing forward, and let's make those dreams a reality.